We're ready to execute our very first scan. But before we do that, I'd like to go back to settings and I would like to go back to the environment because I'd like to show you that the number of APIs for that user's API is set to 0. I showed you the OpenAPI specification earlier on, and we already know it contains 2 operations: post users, post tokens. So how come I see only 0? You only see 0, guys, because the very first time, every time you create a source or you update a source, for all the changes or for the new additions to take effect, you must execute a scan. Everything starts with a scan. Actually, everything starts with an application, then with the scans, right? And only as soon as the scan is performed, only then we will analyze the OpenAPI specification. Actually, active testing will analyze the OpenAPI specification, identify the operations, tag them appropriately, and populate all the other pages. So that's why you see 0 at this level. So it's time for us to go and run a scan. So let's go back to the scan. Now, I'm going to also show you my terminal. Right? I'm going to show you my terminal, and I'm going to clean up house. I'm going to clean it up like this because I told you earlier on, right? I told you earlier on the terminal, our terminal is going to get super busy, right? So I'm going to run a scan and pay attention to the terminal, please. Scan terminal. The initial status is pending. And as you can see, scanning is taking place. And look, there's a bunch of operations that pretty much executed. All of them, of course, they're going to give you 400 type of error messages and so on, right? You're going to see completed. And you're going to see a triangle, a warning, telling you that less than 25% of the tested APIs were reachable during the scan. That means active testing was not able to execute any of the APIs and get a successful response back. If that's the case, well, guess what? You're not able to scan your APIs for security issues. This was super quick because everything failed. So pretty much it didn't run many scans. There are a few things that active testing can deduce without even getting a successful response, but not in our case. That's why we have 0 issues. But at least we know now that we have 2 APIs. We know that we have 2 APIs. If I select the scan row, everything is empty, right? The only thing you see is 2 APIs, both of them unreachable. The overview page got updated nicely, right? 2 APIs, 1 scan. Here's the timeline. Nothing else though, right? Nothing else because we have no issues, nothing else to report. The issues page still empty. There were no issues discovered. The inventory page, on the other hand, here's the 2 APIs, guys. Here's the 2 APIs. They're right here. Here's the post tokens. Here's the post users. Here's the base URL that it was executed against. Here's the tags. You got tags, right? The post, this is the post users API, creates data, and it's an administrative API. Why was tagged as administrative? Because it creates users. Creates users. And if I take you back, settings environment, now the number of APIs gets updated to reflect that yes, we have 2 APIs. So this is our initial exploration of a scan. For the time being, this section is done. This section is done, but in the next section, actually we're going to fix some of those reachability issues that we have. We need to establish reachability. Okay, so the next section is going to be nice, interesting.